Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? I know Cyndi was, and if you're a woman, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now, found in our food, water, and even in our skincare products. These disruptors can wreak havoc on our hormones. Believe me, before Hormone Harmony, I watched Cyndi suffer. Not anymore. Hormone Harmony's formula, made only with herbal ingredients, have reduced Cyndi's hormonal symptoms, and it helps women of all ages. Then there are the natural hormonal changes our bodies face, such as menopause. While these processes are part of life, they don't have to be uncomfortable. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through it any longer. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts known as adaptogens, designed to help the body cope with stressors, including those chaotic hormonal fluctuations that can disrupt your daily life. Whether it's PMS symptoms like irritability and cravings, or menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, Hormone Harmony can help with it all. Happy Mammoth, the creator of Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to improving women's lives by using only high-quality science-backed ingredients. They make no compromises on quality, ensuring that you receive the best support possible. This isn't just a supplement, it has become a phenomenon. Women are talking about it everywhere, with a bottle of Hormone Harmony sold every 24 seconds. And the most important benefit, women express feeling like themselves again. A sentiment echoed in over 30,000 positive reviews. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com. Don't forget to use the code RLRC for 15% off today. Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Look no further than Factor. Factor offers chef-made gourmet meals that are dietitian approved and can be heated and enjoyed in just 2 minutes. Perfect for fueling your body and feeling great, no matter what life throws your way. Factor makes it easy to eat well and stick to your nutritional goals. Factor delivers fresh, fully prepared meals right to your doorstep, making it ideal for anyone with an active, busy lifestyle like my family. Are you looking to shed a few pounds? With Factor, you can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto Meals. This is based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, although results will vary depending on individual diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's simple to find meals tailored to your specific goals. You can choose preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, ensuring there's something for everyone. Factor helps me feel my best all day long, and it can help you too. Factor offers wholesome smoothies, delicious breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and so much more. Their variety makes it easy to stick to your nutrition goals without feeling deprived. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and helps my family stay on track with our health goals, making healthy eating not just achievable, but enjoyable. Recently, I had Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice. Imagine tender, juicy chicken thighs, perfectly seared and sauteed to golden perfection. Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice dish brings together rich, earthy flavors that will satisfy your cravings and leave your taste buds dancing with delight. This gourmet meal features succulent chicken thighs paired with a savory mushroom sauce that's bursting with goodness. It's complemented by a hearty serving of fluffy wild rice, expertly seasoned to enhance the flavors of chicken. Each bite is a harmonious blend of textures, tender meat, creamy mushrooms, and wholesome grains. Ready in just 2 minutes, this dish is not only easy to prepare, but also nourishing, providing you with the fuel you need to tackle your day. Whether you're a busy professional, a parent on the go, or just someone who appreciates a home-cooked meal without the hassle, Factor guarantees convenience and taste. So why wait? Treat yourself to a culinary delight with Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice, the perfect balance of flavor, nutrition, and simplicity. Get started with factormeals.com and use code FACTORPODCAST to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's factormeals.com/factorpodcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for February 26, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we're about to bring you some stories. Complexities, right?
Yes.
So we want to thank you all for liking and listening and sharing. And don't forget about hashtag Justice for Haley on Friday. And of course, the original Real Life Real Crime right now is Scorch, the state versus Scott Peterson on Saturday. And Patreon and Convicts, thank you for your support and hope you got all that bonus material last week. So let's go, girl.
All right.
And it's Wednesday, hump day.
Hump Day Wednesday.
True crime time for?
Yes.
Where are we going?
Chicago.
Chi-Town. We love us from Chicago.
Yes.
Used to be like.
Well, I know. So we're going to start off in Chicago with a immigrant. He had been here for 25, 27 years, but he immigrated from India to this country. So
Legally?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was murdered. So his name is Vasudeva Kethireddy.
Okay.
And he moved to Chicago when he was 36 years old. And he was from a poor neighborhood in India, and he just moved over here trying to do the best for himself and start a family and provide for them. He became an engineer, and then he did what I related to as what your daddy did, is as he got money, he invested in real estate.
Right.
Because you always say this.
Not making any more dirt.
That's right.
Yep.
And so he became a landlord, but he was a different kind of landlord.
Okay.
He was a landlord that would rent out apartments to people that were having trouble.
All right.
So whether it was legal troubles, financial problems, whatever it was, those are the type of people he wanted to help because he had come from that place, right? So he was doing all of that with a good heart, probably not making much money off of it.
Right.
But on October 4th of 2018, 4 days after his 76th birthday, he went missing. And two of his tenants, they shared one apartment. They were brothers, and their names are Elijah Green, and at the time he was 25 years old, and Tony Green, who was 22 years old. And they were living in the Chicago West suburb of Inglewood neighborhood.
Okay.
They owed Kethireddy some money, and they didn't have it. Mm-hmm. So they devised this plan to get rid of him. And so what they did is they pretended to have a leak. And Kethireddy, even though they owed him, he was like, well, I don't want my tenants living in a leak. So he was out running errands and stopped by. Right. Well, when he got there, Elijah immediately started to choke him and choked him to death. Jeez. And the brothers then stole, because he was running errands, and the last known place that he was seen was the bank. Right. But that boys didn't know this. I'm just saying, like, that was true. He had like $1,600 cash on him. Yeah. They stole that, and they stole his credit cards. So Elijah then threw Kethireddy over his shoulder and put him in his car. Nice. Unbeknownst to him, there was cameras. A witness. So
it's kind of hard to do in Chicago.
Right? The brothers then drove around Chicago looking for a location to dump the body, and they couldn't find one that seemed sufficient.
It's not quite good enough. No, not there.
No, not there. That's not going to work. Right. So they kept remember, this is August.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. August. So they kept the body in a car, in Kethireddy's car, for a day before they decided what to do with it. Yeah. So the geniuses, Tony, the genius that he is, did a Google search. How long does it take for a body to decompose in the sewer?
Oh, God.
And they, I guess, felt good with the response because they went down, removed the sewer cover that was close to the car, and just dumped the body in the sewer. Nice. And so, meanwhile, the neighbor that saw them with the body reported it. And so the cops are watching, and they're doing their investigation. Right. And also Kethireddy's reported missing. And so everything's moving. The boys are just going on with their life thinking everything is hunky-dory.
Right. Flush it down the sewer.
And so within a few days, they are watching the brothers, the cops are, but they don't have a body. Right. As the police are doing their investigation, they somehow get an idea, or they're able to get a hold of Tony's phone. And they were able to see what searches he
Yeah.
did. And so this was 2 months later. And they find, of course, Kethireddy's body in the sewer there. And the boys.
There's a whole lot of sewer underneath Chicago.
I know. And I would
They
think
must have
that.
some kind of tip.
Yeah. Well, because they saw the Google search of how long does it take? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
it's
right.
1,400 miles of sewer underneath Chicago.
Right. And so Shanton Kethireddy, which is the son of Vasudeva, the victim, said that he was shocked to hear who the murderers were because they were one of the few that were there offering condolences and shaking his hand and hugging him and so sad for their loss. Yeah. So finally, on February 19th, the boys were sentenced. And Tony was sentenced to 45 years and Elijah was sentenced to 47.
Wow. Well,
so isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Yeah. So don't, Woody, just so you know, don't do a Google search of how to get rid of my body.
I'm not that stupid. I'm also smart enough to know how to clear your search engine. Right? I don't even know if that works, though, if the cops get in your shit. Because really, I was after my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have all that fancy technology that they have nowadays to help them do their stuff.
Yep.
So, well, we are going to go. It's time for Worldwide Crime. And to the one place you've heard me tell Cyndi, I'm not going to. We're going to Paris, France. And you're not going to like this, but no crying. So a newborn baby has died after an American tourist threw the baby out of the window of a hotel in Paris. Yes. So, in a translated statement obtained by People, like People magazine, the Paris prosecutor's office confirmed the baby's death and said the newborn was allegedly thrown out of the window of the second floor of a hotel in the 20th arrondissement on Monday, February the 24th. The duty magistrate went to the scene. The newborn was treated urgently, but did not survive. And the prosecutor added that an investigation has been opened for a homicide of a minor. Now, plot thickens. The mother, who's an American national, is part of a group of young adults traveling in Europe. She was taken to the hospital where she is to undergo an operation following her delivery. She is also taken into custody. This is from the affidavit on site.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Stick with me. So they said the possibility of denial of pregnancy is considered, the statement concluded. But on February 24th, around 6 a.m. local time, a witness called the police and said, hey, an infant's been thrown from the Iblis Styles Hotel with an umbilical cord. Jeez Louise. The infant, of course, was taken to the Robert Debré Hospital, which in the news outlet reports that the mom of the infant is an 18-year-old student. So the local media outlet Le Figaro reported the young woman was placed in police custody on the spot. And according to the Paris Match, the newborn's mom was reportedly on a study trip to Paris. And, you know, those how they do those from colleges, they send a group of students to do.
Work abroad, study abroad.
And they said the investigation is underway and the precise circumstances of this tragedy remain to be established. And we do not know yet if we are dealing with a denial of pregnancy. That's pretty crazy. That's like all those cases nowadays. I mean, how do you think you're going to get away with that?
I don't know.
So it was a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Newborn. Had the baby throw it out the window. Nobody's going to notice.
No. Mm-mm.
But meanwhile, you got to have some kind of medical attention, right?
I would think a woman that gave birth would definitely need some.
Does France have the death penalty? I think I asked you that already.
Here's what I found.
It's banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this long wall, making a whole list of doing a huge map of the world and putting in certain colors for countries, which one has death penalty and which one does not. So
I like to ask, but I don't know. I mean, I don't imagine any country in the world takes too kindly to a newborn baby being born and thrown out of the window.
Yeah, I guess because she's an American citizen, I know the crime happened over there, so she can't get extradited over here where there's some type of death penalty.
Happened over there. She's got to do the time there.
So I heard
I bet she's still be having a staycation, and
that's what I was thinking.
In France,
it's exactly what I was thinking.
I hope she learned how to speak some French before she goes to prison, so she can ask for some biscuits or whatever the fuck they eat, beignets.
Beignets. Filet mignon, escargot.
Yeah, some escargot. I hate it for the baby.
No, that's horrible.
How do you go along and your parents don't? I guess you're at college and nobody knows.
I can tell you that I was not able to conceal any of my pregnancies. Yeah. The second I found out I was pregnant, and you can attest to this, my belly was showing.
I know, but I don't get it.
Well, of course I wouldn't have even tried. I wanted everybody to know I was pregnant, right?
Yep.
But I wasn't 18 and scared, but
it is what it is.
Blessings and peace to that baby.
No doubt.
So I heard a story the other day of a baby that was born in the hospital and was in the room with its mom, the hospital room with its mom, a day old, and died in the hospital. And the reason why it died is because it was put to sleep on its tummy. And for 30 something years now, that has not been a thing that you do with newborn babies. Like back when we were babies, our mamas could put us to sleep on our tummies, but they had this whole big revolution change. And because of SIDS, that said you had to put your baby to sleep on its back. Would that be negligent?
Pathologist told me that's bullshit. And that's the Dr. Corkin, and he was old and been doing it forever. He said SIDS is bullshit. He said that's just an excuse. He said the baby's going to die, it's going to die. Yeah.
Well, this one suffocated, it was on its belly with its face planted into the mattress, suffocated.
I don't know. I'm not a pathologist.
No, I'm asking you, would that be negligent homicide?
No, there's no law that says you can't put your baby to sleep on the stomach.
Oh my gosh.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, I work way too many of those. You want to talk about something hard, you have to go to the emergency room where the parents are holding a dead baby and take the baby into evidence.
No.
And even the doctors and the nurses are pissed at you. Mm-hmm. But it had to be done. It had to have the autopsy to make, because all the shaking babies and shit that we work. So.
Yeah.
All right. Let's some more love.
Well, some more love. Let's go to Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville.
I feel like I'm hitting a roulette wheel. Let's go to...
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Jacksonville.
Yep.
Hurricane Milton happened earlier this year. Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
It was a pretty bad hurricane, right?
Mm-hmm.
This Florida man hosted his mother during the hurricane. She went down to Jacksonville to seek shelter there.
We know this all too well. Everybody, whether we're going to somebody when the hurricane's coming here or somebody else is coming over here because the hurricane's going to the other part of the state, it happens.
Right.
Especially if you got a generator.
So her son has now been charged in connection with the death of his girlfriend, whose brutalized body was found by his mother while she was visiting in August.
So he killed her. Mom comes to visit, finds a body.
Yes.
Boy, I bet she was proud.
So the victim, who was 43 years old, her name was Kristen Carrier, was found dead with multiple gunshot and stab wounds on October 10th in her son's Jacksonville, Florida home.
Did they say where?
In the bedroom. Authorities announced the arrest of the 32-year-old Robert Hendricks on Wednesday, February 19th, in connection with the woman's death.
Wow.
Police were notified about the killing on October 10th by one of Hendrix's family members who had come to his home to seek shelter during Hurricane Milton.
Mom went in to clean up, make up his bed like she did when he was a little boy and found a dead girl.
And the mother told police she went to her son's home on October 9th to be with him during the storm. The following day after the storm had passed, Hendrix, the son, went to the store and the mom found the dead body wrapped in a tarp.
She was going to snoop around, or she was going in to pick up his dirty drawers?
I don't know, but the body was found in the master bedroom. So either way, it could have been either one of those. So then the mom called her daughter and said, please come pick me up. Like they wanted to figure out what to do. Like,
get me the fuck out of here. Yeah.
And then they returned home and confronted him over it. And
Before they called the cops?
And he became
the family therapy
animated. And so then they both left and notified authorities. So when he had that outburst, they were like, you guilty.
I mean what do you expect he's going to say?
Exactly.
So I'm going to talk to you about the dead
body
with the bullet holes wrapped in a tarp in your bed. Well, Mom, it's not really what it looks like.
So
of course they got animated.
Right. So
like,
detectives,
bitch, what are you doing slipping in my room?
Went to the scene and they found various blood patterns on the walls and floors, and they recovered a bat and a knife from the scene. And
hopefully the body.
He was arrested on the scene on an unrelated charge of a felon in possession of a firearm and possession of controlled substance.
That's called, they came in, found some other shit to charge them with it, stick immediately, and then we'll take our time and build the case to fuck you with this murder charge. And guess what? I don't have to look up. I know Florida's got the death penalty.
And he pleaded guilty to the other charges. But court records show that Hendrix was charged on Wednesday with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence in connection with her death. He's being represented by the public defender, and that's that. So at least, I mean, can you imagine? Hey, Mom, come and stay with me, ride out this storm. I had a dead body in my house, though.
Geez,
so
you think he'd get rid of it? Too bad Jacksonville doesn't have the drainage system Chicago has. He could have put it down there and searched for it.
Yep.
Did you hear about I told y'all they were about to start rolling with the executions in Louisiana?
Yes.
And like a couple of days before the first guy was to be executed, he died of old age.
Are you kidding?
81 years old. And he'd been on there, I don't know, 40 some years, I think. But he's one of the ones, he had married some lady that had a kid, a boy that he raped and murdered way back when. But he died, and his defense attorney came out and said, I can't believe y'all want to kill this defenseless old man. I told you he was sick and died. Well, guess what? Hell or jail. Yeah. He was sentenced 40 some plus years ago. I probably have the years wrong, but it's a long fucking time ago. Yeah. And he should have been executed, but I guess they saved the price of admission on that one. But let's go to genetics can be beautiful. Maybe you got your mom's eyes or her great skin, but genetics can also be a nightmare. I hear friends say, I got my mom's belly and love handles. Don't let genetics be the thing that holds you back from getting the body you deserve. Check out the Permanent Solutions by Sano Bello. Our friends at Sano Bello are offering you their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited. So please make your appointment today. Sano Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal. What is micro fat laser removal? Micro laser fat removal is a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, wherever your problem areas are, the fat is gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that. But if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sano Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/RLRC. That's SONOBELLO.com/RLRC.
This episode is sponsored by MIDI Health.
MIDI Health is here to change the way women experience menopause care. As a husband, I've seen my wife Cyndi navigate the challenges of menopause, and it hasn't been easy. Keeping up with her symptoms while feeling dismissed by traditional healthcare providers was tough for her. It was disheartening to hear the doctors say it was all in her head, or to just focus on diet and exercise. I learned that many healthcare providers lack training in menopause, which is shocking. 80% of OBGYNs report they are untrained in this critical area, and 75% feel uncomfortable discussing it with their patients. Thank goodness Cyndi found MIDI. MIDI is a virtual care clinic dedicated to truly seeing, hearing, and understanding women's experiences. It was created by women for women, and they accept insurance in all 50 states. Getting started is simple. She visited www.trymidi.com/real, set up her account, and entered her insurance information and shared her symptoms. She was able to choose a convenient time to meet her clinician. During the virtual visit, she discussed her symptoms and health history in detail with a nurse practitioner trained in perimenopause, menopause, and weight management. If she needs any tests like blood work or imaging, they help coordinate it with a local facility that accepts her insurance. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now she can follow her treatment plan and schedule follow-up visits. MIDI even collaborates with her other doctors for in-person treatment if necessary. Best of all, there are no hidden costs, no membership fees, and MIDI bills your insurance directly. MIDI also offers fantastic products, including compound semaglutide and estriol face cream, which Cyndi loves. This prescription skincare product is designed to improve skin elasticity, hydration, and texture, addressing those frustrating changes related to estrogen decline. So if you're ready to take charge of your midlife health, go to www.trymidi.com/real. That's www.trymidi.com/real to schedule a virtual visit. Join more than 200,000 women who love and trust MIDI for their midlife care. Y'all use my code SAFE15 to get $15 off your first RX product when you book your visit. It's time for Family Matters. Okay, so it's Hump Day Wednesday, otherwise known as let's see if Woody can make Cyndi cry during a true crime podcast.
I think that's every day of the true crime podcast.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be today. So we're going to Texas. Oh, Tejas, right? And a mom there has been charged because her 19-year-old daughter was deceased. You know what? Before she was deceased, she was diagnosed as non-speaking and had severe autism. Okay. But when they found her, she was in what they call shocking conditions and described as mummified.
Oh.
Yeah. So on Friday, February 14th, around 2:30 p.m. local time, Crystal Canales called 911 to report that her daughter, Delia Villegas, was unresponsive and not breathing. That's according to a Balch, B-A-L-C-H Springs Police Department, BSPD. Now, Pedro Gonzalez, a public information officer with the department, said at a press conference that first responders arrived at Canales' Balch Springs home before police and opted, it means fire department or paramedics, and opted to not administer CPR, which they never do, right? Because of the position and condition that she was found in.
Right.
Now, when officers later got to the scene, they were met with a strong, foul odor coming from the girl's bedroom, where the teen was then found lying in a near fetal position on the floor, right? She appeared severely malnourished and had multiple bruises and contusions on her body to the point that officers believed her to be much younger. That's what they're saying in the press conference. Gonzalez told reporters that originally when the officers arrived, they thought she was probably 13 and they didn't realize she was 19 years old. Oh, I'm about to fuck you up. Get ready.
No.
And quote, "It was as described, skin to bone," he said of Villegas' condition, explaining that she also had large lacerations exposing decaying limbs and even some of the bones from her shoulder and on her arm and her leg, right? So Villegas, Villegas, the victim, looked like she was in a mummified state. And they said that her shoulder bone was protruding out. He said it was just unrecognizable for a 19-year-old to be in that position. Now, according to the BSPD, Villegas also had bed sores on her body and an outline on the floor, which indicated she had been in the same position for a prolonged period. When asked about his emotional response to her condition, Gonzalez, the PI, Public Information Officer, told reporters that as a father, our job is to protect our children. And when a nonverbal daughter lays helplessly, you sort of wonder what was going through her mind where she couldn't communicate or even share some of her pain or suffering to others so she could get additional help. Now, though Canales insisted that Villegas had been breathing before first responders arrived and claimed she had eaten a handful of goldfish crackers earlier that day, police believe she was dead for a minimum of 4 hours because rigor mortis and liver mortis, changes that occur after death, had already set in. Medical examiners later estimated that Villegas was dead for even longer, 6 to 24 hours before authorities arrived at the house. It's crazy. Now, after over a week of investigating, Balch Springs police concluded that a reasonable person would have sought medical treatment for Villegas' severe wounds, and they determined that Canales, the mom's, failure to obtain medical care likely constituted reckless conduct, leading to serious bodily injury to a disabled person under her care. She's autistic. She can't speak. Yeah. And so police executed an arrest warrant for Canales on Friday, February 21st, and she was arrested and charged with 1 count of seriously bodily injury to a disabled person, which is a second-degree felony. And investigators interviewed Villegas' grandmother and great-uncle, both of whom lived with her and Canales, though Gonzalez declined to comment on whether they will also face charges amid the ongoing investigation into the young woman's death. Gonzalez did say, however, that Villegas' family members said she could be very aggressive towards them and they would sometime be discouraged to interact with her. This is crazy. There were also times when she became extremely violent, punching, hitting, kicking family members, he told reporters, citing a previous altercation on a school bus. As for Canales' character, witnesses described her as a great mother who never left the house. Teachers also said only positive things about the mom and daughter, describing Canales as a very involved and Villegas as a good student. Now, Gonzalez also stated that the police had previously responded to the family's home one other time back in May of 2021 for a welfare check. At that time, everyone in the residence was fine and healthy. At the time of Villegas' death, the victim's death, the home was in a good state with food available and no signs of starvation. That's what he told the reporters. And though Villegas wore a diaper, she had no major health conditions, and she was able to cook things like eggs for herself. This is what the family told the cops. Authorities also said that when questioned about her daughter's injuries, Canales acknowledged her bed sores and claimed she was treating them with Neosporin. And an open tube of Neosporin was found in her bedroom, as well as a pile of rags. This is all in the arrest affidavit. Canales also echoed the other family members' comments, telling investigators she did not seek medical care because Delilah would become violent. I got so much to say about this. She's as of February 21st, she was in the Balch Springs jail, awaiting transfer to Dallas County Jail. They have agencies to help. You got a family member, you got an autistic adult not even a child anymore, an autistic adult, that, and if they get violent and stuff like that, they have agencies that help with this stuff. They will get you the help.
Yeah.
They're talking about her bones were sticking out.
Literally.
Bed sores.
Yeah.
You know where the bed sores are from?
I put
Because
some
you lay
on it.
You lay in the bed in a certain spot. It's not like you get it for a day.
No.
Weeks and weeks and weeks without moving. And I've seen them. On Jackie's case, when we went back in, I don't know, months later, and she had the big bed sores, and they had to turn them, and they treat them, and whatever.
We had to do that with Taylor. We had to move him constantly because he was immobile.
Yeah.
He never had a bed sore.
I don't know.
But when he became too big for my mom to actually handle him is when but guess what? They took his Social Security to pay for him to stay in that home. And I bet they didn't want to get rid of her Social Security.
Get the good check, right? And look, at a certain point, you got to let professionals help. You know what I mean? Do
you think the grandparents should be? I mean, they lived in the house. How can they not reasonably be?
I know Texas is going to fuck them up. I mean, there's no way they thought she was a 13-year-old. She was starved to death, basically, and mummified. Her skin, bones sticking out. We're talking about it had lacerations and bruises and shit. I mean,
in a fetal position.
On the ground.
On the floor. And had imprints.
Dead 6 to 24 hours. But she ate a hand full of goldfish.
Mm-hmm. And we put Neosporin on her bed sores.
She probably really fucked up on that goldfish statement, because when they did the autopsy, the first thing they do is not the first thing. One of the things that they used to do on everyone is cut up in the stomach and then pour it in a little dish, and you can see what the last thing you had to eat was.
You've told me stories about the contents of stomachs.
Yeah, I remember the one that always sticks out, Dr. Corrigan. It was like a brown syrup, not syrup, but anyway, he was like, smell it. I'm like, well, motherfucker, I'm not smelling it. And he said, just smell it.
Yeah.
And I did, and he kind of whipped it on my nose, and I couldn't, it was kind of sweet. I couldn't figure out what it was. He said, barbecue sauce. Yeah. I'm like, yep, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some nasty shit. But prayers for that girl, and she's not autistic anymore. And
the angels and that poor baby.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. I've got to find, new ways to describe the detestable,
I don't know,
disgusting people.
I don't know. Certain people just, we go through things, and you went through it with your brother, and finally you had to put him in a home. Yeah, I mean, it gets beyond. I understand wanting to take care of your people. Mm-hmm. We're going through the same thing right now to a certain degree. We want to take care of your people, even if you have professionals in the home. There comes a certain point where what the fuck do you do? I mean, they have facilities that their sole purpose is to help with situations like that. Yeah. And at what point does it become criminal neglect? You know what I mean? But like you said, if she's out, then I guess the check goes to the facility. I don't know. Yeah. But they're going to find out. And there you go. I didn't even look at her to see if she was crying.
And I'm getting hard over here. I didn't cry. I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I literally am nauseous.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine? I mean, I know you can imagine with the things that you've seen what that looks like. I
know one thing. That mama might have bumped her head on my police car when I was putting her in the back of it.
I would think so.
But some things are so fucking shocking when you see them. You're like, you get mad about them later on. You're like, holy fuck, I can't believe I'm looking at this. Yeah. But you're not to the point, not to me, not to the point where I wouldn't do my job. But I'm like, all right, okay, I'm here. I'm seeing like the craziest shit on earth. But it's my job to make sense of this and bring whoever did this to justice. Yeah. So there you go. What you got?
Well,
what you got?
Do you want me to do another story, or do you want to talk about our fighting? I got it all worked out.
Okay. Go ahead. Don't boom that out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So first, In our fighting, we have to decide what the name.
You're not even. What about the people that hadn't listened to it yet? You got to describe what the fighting is, what we're talking about.
Well, yesterday on Tuesday's show, which would have been the 25th, Woody proposed a husband and wife fight club.
It could be. They didn't have to be a husband and wife. It could be any domestic partners.
Okay, domestic partner fight club. So, where you get out all of your pent-out aggression.
It's not really a fight club. I was thinking more like making like a professional league.
Okay.
And people.
Well, how is it a league?
Because you have to have certain qualifications to get in. I told you that. So criminal charges can't be brought against you, et cetera. And then you have to get a big lineup and promote it for pay-per-view so you can make money off of it.
Right. Well,
and nobody can get in trouble. But then if the dude's bigger or the woman's bigger, whatever, it has to be voted on and weighed out. So everything's even during the fight.
I got some criteria for that. But what if we did this? What if we did the husband and wife matches, right?
But boom, let's do another story and do it tomorrow. We're too far in. We're 34 minutes in already. And we got 6 commercials.
All right. So for this story, we're going to go to a different place I don't think we've been to in a while, which is North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And authorities have arrested a man in connection with a North Carolina mother. This mother's name is Dana Lee Muschin, and she was last seen on November 30th of 2023. Her remains have finally been found, and they were found in a pond like a year after she went missing. And so the way that it was reported that she was missing was she missed her daughter's 6th birthday party. So when she didn't show up for that. Just like
the cold case in North Louisiana. The mom didn't show up for the party and the guy confessed to raping her and after she was dead and hauling her up the tree and then burying her in that pond and then took her body out and cut it up and put it in different places.
Mm-mm. Authorities later found Muschin's remains in a pond in Vance County on January 30th, more than a year after she was reported missing. So on February 18th, investigators arrested Brian David Griffin, who was 37 years old, at a hotel in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in connection with Muschin's death. Authorities did not share whether the suspect and victim knew each other. Authorities said Griffin had been charged with concealment of a death and is awaiting an extradition hearing at a Myrtle Beach detention facility. And it's unclear if he entered a plea or has retained an attorney. But the official cause of death has also not been released, but Griffin's disappearance and death remain under investigation. And Muschin's older brother wants to remain anonymous, and he just says that she loved her daughter more than anything in the world, and it's been a nightmare, and he can't put into words how somebody just vanishes without a trace.
Does North Carolina have the death penalty? I bet they do.
I found this on the web.
Well, they reinstated it in 73. 2006, 15, 18, 19, 19. Retroactive, 2022. Yes, they definitely have it. So, I mean, come on, man. You know?
You know.
Just kill them and
throw them in a pond.
Throw them in a pond. It just so you all know, bodies float. Mm-hmm. No matter what you put on them.
Even if they're weighted down with 4 anchors and put
Scott
in.
Peterson can tell you about that one.
And so then the torso pops up.
Yep. But at some point, the gases in the body reach such a degree that it will literally tear your bones apart or whatever to get to the top. Mm-hmm. Always happens. All the bodies we drug out of the river usually during, boating season in the spring and summer. If we couldn't find them, sometimes it was winter time too, the duck hunters or whatever, but the colder the water was, the longer it took for them to pop up.
Right.
But sooner or later, they're going to pop up.
Yeah.
Or part of them is.
Yeah.
And but we used to use, I tell you, the cadaver dogs on the boat and ride them back
over the top of the water, and they would alert. And we had a grappling hook. You throw it out there, drag across the bottom, try to snag the body and pull it up. And sometimes you found it, sometimes you didn't, and you just had to wait. And it popped up. So there you have it. And that's the way it is. So let me tell y'all real quick, we've talked about Dr. Miranda Hebert before at Flourish Hormone Replacement Center, which is on Juban Crossing right here in Denver Springs. And Dr. Miranda and her dedicated staff provide cutting edge treatments that help balance your hormones and enhance your overall well-being. Now, Cyndi is so excited about the NAD injections for the anti-aging benefits, and stars like Jennifer Aniston and Tom Hanks and the Kardashians and more of them have been using this NAD for years. Now it's available at Flourish Hormone Replacement for just $299. And each vial lasts approximately 5 weeks and delivers this powerful coenzyme essential for cellular function and energy production. Along with anti-aging benefits, these injections can significantly boost your energy levels, enhance mental clarity, and support your health in meaningful ways. Now, if you prefer an alternative, they also offer NAD capsules, it's a 60 count for $480, which is a fantastic option for those who don't like to get shots, right? Dr. Miranda Hebert is committed to helping you achieve optimal health. And with her expertise, you'll receive personalized care tailored specifically to your unique needs, ensuring that you stay on the path to feeling your best. Don't wait. Call Flourish Hormone Replacement today at 225-283-1211 to learn more about their services or to schedule your appointment. Take that first step toward a healthier, more balanced life. And remember to tell them that Real Life, Real Crime sent you. And y'all, I read most of that because it was a lot and I had Cyndi put it together for me. But they do so much more for it. And no, it's not. You're not going in there for the fucking coronavirus or whatever. You're going in there for your overall well-being, to make yourself even better.
Exactly.
And I do it and I see her every month. I have my double thyroids, which she finally has straight, and medicines for that and the other things that I'm doing that I won't even tell you about it, but I like them. Cyndi likes them. So, but there's so many different things they offer, many different cutting edge technologies, and it's strictly, what do you call it? To make your life better?
Yeah.
And of course it's not for everybody, but if you want, if you have an area of concern where you want to feel younger, or if you're sleepy or sluggish or whatever, let Flourish Hormone Replacement help you. Tell them we sent you.
Definitely.
All right. And that's pretty much it. Y'all remember Miss Barbara Blunt's case. Always calling you tips. Always keep thinking about it. One day I believe that worm is going to turn, and I pray and we'll get that case done. Mm-hmm. So love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in and listening, liking and sharing and all that good podcast shit.
Yes.
And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.